Hey Amit, congratulations on having your wonderful film Newton at Tribeca Film Festival.
Thank you.
It had its New York premiere, I think, this week. And
Yeah.
and you're just coming off of winning jury award from Hong Kong, right? So congratulations on
Thank
that
you.
again. It's an amazing film, as I was sharing with you earlier. I loved everything about it. But tell me what prompted you to do a film on this particular subject, which is elections, and in this particular part of India, because election is you could have gone anywhere with that.
Yeah.
So why?
Because
And how?
elections are a big deal in India. After you vote, people put their fingers with their voting ink on Facebook saying I voted. And I also used to vote, and I mean I still do, but I used to think that okay, I voted, now my job is over. But that is not really democracy. It's just a part of democracy. It's just a machinery of democracy. Democratic ideals are something else, which are not practiced in full. So I felt that this gap needs to be explored through a film, and with that intention, I set out to write something about democracy. And then since day of the election is the day when people feel that they are in charge, they go and vote. They feel physically a part of democracy. So then the idea was to set it up in a polling booth, and polling booth could be anywhere. It could be in Delhi, Bombay, Madras, idhar udhar. But what's the point? It has to be in an area where there's conflict. And in Chhattisgarh, the conflict is very simple. It's about people who are feeling disenfranchised. But on the day of the elections, suddenly they remember they need to come and vote. And they're not asking for freedom from India or anything. They're just asking for their basic rights. And so I thought it would be interesting to set it up in that area, in that particular booth.
So, but also that makes your job more difficult, right? Because you need to understand what's happening there. So, how was that process? I'm sure that would have cost you a lot of research to make sure you have all the information and you understand the background. How was that process?
So before I set out to write this, I didn't know much about Chhattisgarh or Maoists. Because if you live in an urban area, you only read the newspapers, you
Right.
see the news channels, and very little is actually reported from this area. Sometimes suddenly there's an incident and they report, but then they again forget about it. So I knew very little. When I thought of this idea, I started reading about it, watched documentaries. Then I wrote a basic draft without having ever been there. But once Suleimani Kida released, I met Manish Mundra. He liked this idea, so he decided to produce it. That's when I got Mayank Tiwari on board, and both of us we decided to now do a thorough research. So we went to Chhattisgarh. We spent time there. Then I went to Delhi. I met a lot of people who have worked in this area. With their help, I again went to Chhattisgarh, met more people, and subsequent visits, for casting, for looking for locations, and all the time we were writing. So it kept evolving, kept evolving. The more people you meet, the more point of views you get to listen.
Right, right.
So it kept growing, and we kept writing it. Even on the day of the shoot, we were like changing things here and there.
Well, that's the beauty of being writer and director, right? You can
Yeah.
have a little more liberty there. But are these, the locals, the villagers, were they actual like folks from that part? I mean, they looked very authentic.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely, yeah.
were they?
Yeah, so all the actors except for the top, the main leads, the 5 or 6 lead actors who are quite known and they're very talented and trained actors. Most of them from National School of Drama.
Right.
Rajkumar is from FTI. But the other actors were all locally cast. The entire police force was locally cast. The entire village population they were actually from Nakshal areas, areas controlled by Maoists. So my casting director went there, auditioned at least 500-600 people before he selected the 40 villagers. So it was quite a task for him, and he was quite bold to do that.
Were there any actors in there too, or were they like just?
No, a lot of these people, majority of them, didn't know what film was. They had never seen a film or even heard of anything called cinema. So it was very interesting to work with them, because they had absolutely no fear or conscious, like they were not self-conscious in front of the camera.
Right, right.
So that was,
You see that authenticity,
yeah.
especially in the scenes when they're
So they
getting.
were pretty, and but they had a very deep understanding of their own situation.
Right.
They knew what is happening. They knew how people are taking them for granted. So they knew their situation. So when I met them at before starting the shoot, I had planned a series of workshops. But on the first day of the workshop, I realized that there's no need for this because they are so authentic. Uh, I just need to communicate the situation, and most of them were improvising. So
Have you been able to show the film back to them yet?
it's not censored in India yet, so it's we
No
cannot.
private screenings?
There are no screening halls there. It's always better to.
Gentlemen.
Yeah, we could do that, but I would like them to watch it in a proper setting, in a
As
proper
full
theater.
cinematic experience.
Yeah, for that I need to get the film censored.
Right.
So it will get censored. We're releasing the film in July in India. So we'll definitely have a little premiere in Raipur. We'll get everybody to watch it. So
That would be amazing. So let's just talk about this, right? This film, as I said, is about India, a remote place in India, and Indian elections, right? Very native Indian topic and very specific. But this film is doing great everywhere. In New York, I've talked to so many people. People are loving it, and I'm talking like Americans, and it just when I were in Hong Kong. So what do you think? What is it about the film that is connecting with it's such a specific local film is speaking so widely? I mean, it's a beautiful thing, but what do you think? What?
because human beings have empathy, and when they see something, they always connect it with what is familiar to them, and what is shown in the film is happening all over the world in different forms. Elections all over the world are giving suspicious results, and democracy all over the world is being misused. People are not getting their full rights. People are feeling cheated. So that's why people are feeling this connection. Here you're seeing it in a very blatant and naked form,
Right.
but the same thing you see in a slightly different form all over the world. So I guess that is why people are connected.
Yeah, because I wasn't shocked, but it's nice to see the language of cinema that can speak, so widely, and that's why we do films. Right? We want to speak, and your film does that successfully. It's one of those great examples where you can see, how it's talking to such a wide audience. So,
Thank you.
Congratulations. And to follow up on that, what do you think as filmmakers? Because the times are weird worldwide, as you said, America, India, different countries, the political situations, there's so much turmoil. As filmmakers, what's our role and responsibility? Because your film entertains very much, but it's still a very socially relevant film. What do you think but there's so many masala films in India and here, like with big Hollywood blockbusters, which are making the real money. Although thankfully these films are doing well. What do you think as filmmakers? What's our responsibility, and as audience, because we're all audience too. What's audience role in this journey and process?
As a filmmaker, I have to express myself. Whatever issues or whatever stories I want to tell, I'll have to tell it in a very uninhibited way. That is my only goal, just to feel free and not feel censored, or not feel that I have to pander to somebody's wishes. So that is my goal as a filmmaker, and I do believe that because I have been influenced by films, music, so many musicians in the 60s, their songs actually helped sustain flower generation, revolution, whatever happened. Situation was so much bad then. You had segregation, you had so many injustices all over the world, colonialism. So all these attitudes, artists were at the forefront of changing attitudes of younger people. So I think everywhere, even now, I believe that through art you can actually help change minds, help communicate things in a more simple way by telling a story.
Yeah, yeah, specifically, I really believe in this film like yours, which can also entertain because
Mm.
a lot of people, I believe, go to see films to get entertained.
Obviously,
So,
yeah, why not? Because people are working hard. At the end of the day, they want to see something that also entertains them.
right,
So that's what I believe. That there's no point in making a film which is preachy because nobody wants to be preached.
right.
So I think you have to find the balance.
And as a writer and as a filmmaker, you've done that. Tell me about your inspirations. Which films or filmmakers inspire you or have inspired you in India and worldwide?
Hmm. There's a long list, so it's not. I mean, it's not like three
Give
or
me
four
three.
people.
Your top three.
See, I'll give you three from completely three different worlds.
Okay.
Um, f- I really like if there's one filmmaker whose filmography I've watched um, from India, that would be Satyajit Ray. I mean, I connect with it. The simpler stories. They're I like the way he he tells his stories. Then I like Francois Truffaut, French New Wave. I love his films, especially um, L'Argent du Poche, which is called Pocket Money. That's a really beautiful film about children. Then I also like, let's say, in America, I really enjoy films by Noah Baumbach. I like watching mumblecore films these days, so I've been
Oh.
watching a lot of them. And of course, there are lots of filmmakers in America who are also an inspiration. So the list is very long.
Would you like to direct a film in America, a Hollywood film?
Yeah, of course. Why not? If
What
I
about
get
a
the
big
chance.
studio Marvel DC films, or is that not the kind of
I
films you
don't
want?
know if they'll ever offer me a film. I don't think
Put it on the
Marvel
universe.
Marvel and DC. I don't think they won't approach me, or even if I approach them, they won't take me. But the thing is that I really don't want to do anything I don't believe in.
Mhm.
So it's not about it being. I would rather do films which I want to make. I don't think I would want to make a Spider-Man or something. Though I like watching it, I don't
Mhm.
think it's my. Um, I don't see stuff like that. And action is anyways really not my genre. I don't really watch too much of action. So
Well, what about TV?
TV, yeah, I'm interested in TV. Like, in fact, I'm working on a series, writing a series.
Cool.
Yeah.
In
So
India or here?
no, I'm writing it with a writer.
Mhm.
So we want to pitch it to platforms. So I would like it to be an international series. Like, I'm not looking at it only for India. So something I would like to pitch in
Wonderful.
here or anywhere else.
Well, that's the language of cinema, right? Uh, Final two questions. Last one. You know, what's your message to other young filmmakers? And I'm sure you get, all filmmakers get this asked a lot. But from your own experiences, what do you think? What do you hope you knew when you started your career that you know now, and you would like to share?
When I started out, I spent a lot of time looking for a mentor, hoping that somebody would, uh, you know, groom me into this, looking for the easy way out, like, because I wasn't from a film school, I didn't know like-minded people when I started out, so I was constantly looking for somebody who will validate my, like whatever little bit I'm doing, connect me to people, but it never happened, and I think at some point I realized that you can't be like I was obviously working a lot, but I was also like hoping to have a mentor. I realized that that doesn't happen. You just have to do your own thing, and you can be like Eklavya. You can have, like, instead of having somebody mediocre who's guiding you, it's always better to look at the greats and be inspired by that and hope that you can do something uh, that you believe in.
Interesting. But I do think mentorship is key, and
It is
people
key,
really-
but I didn't find anyone. Like, I would keep
Interesting.
meeting people, but I don't know. It's difficult. It's not everybody finds it. Like, not everybody has the time to, like
True.
deal with people who are knocking at their door. So it's people have to do their work. I mean,
Thanks for that honest answer. That is
no,
very
because
true.
this was something I really used to feel bad when I was like 24, 25. I used to feel very lonely. I used to feel like maybe I'm not good enough. Because I wanted to work with big directors, good directors, and I would go to their offices and wouldn't even get past the first barrier. Maybe that's why Sulaimani Kida has that little grungy struggler vibe to it.
But now you have a wonderful film that's winning
Thank
awards
you.
worldwide. So you are the Eklavya of filmmaking.
I don't know really.
Although do
because
you have a Dronacharya?
there are a lot of people I really look up to, so I wouldn't say that. I think, like you said, formal education and mentorship is something that if I had to change something, I would probably do that.
So, and I think, so you're saying your message would be if people can.
It's always good, yeah. But you have to do your own thing, you cannot.
I agree. But you cannot just rely on that. That's
Yeah.
just do if you can't find it. Just keep moving.
That's my honest opinion, yeah.
That's wonderful.
Most people would just say, "Oh, go make a film," but it's not that easy, I feel.
Sure, I mean things are getting easier, but making quality work is not easy. I would agree to
True,
that. Last question: we are in New York. Is it your first time in New York, or have you been to New York?
I've been a few times.
Few times.
Yes.
So tell me what's and it's raining outside. It's not. I mean, New York is beautiful everywhere, but in rain. What's your most favorite thing about New York, and what's your least favorite thing about New York? But I'll also ask you from Mumbai, right? Same question to Mumbai too. What's your least favorite, most favorite thing about Mumbai and New York?
My most favorite thing about New York is that I don't feel like a foreigner here ever. I've been here
That's
many
not
times.
America.
I never feel like I'm in a different place. It feels very warm here, And least favorite, I really don't have any least favorite things. Maybe it's a little too expensive for me since I earn in rupees and I have to pay in dollars. That's
Okay. Yeah, you have to be a New Yorker to hate tourists. I mean, and that's what people complain about more.
Okay.
What about Mumbai?
Mumbai, I hate the traffic and it's very congested. And Mumbai, the same thing I like about Mumbai is that nobody really bothers you. You can be yourself. It's a very in India. It's probably the freest city to live in for anyone. Even if you're a foreigner or a woman, you can walk it late in the night. I've lived there for so many years. I've never gotten mugged. Never had any kind of
Maybe you're just
street
lucky,
fight.
yeah. Well, thank you again.
Thank you.
Many congratulations. We look forward for not this film being very successful. Let's put it on the universe. Hopefully, this gets picked by Indian government for the Oscars and it goes
Okay.
there. Let's put it on the universe. I
All right.
strongly believe because I think it definitely has its potential and
Thank
the way
you.
it's connecting
Thank
with
you.
folks, as I said, which is very important. So let's put that out in the universe and then. Hopefully we see you a lot more beautiful work from you.
Thank
Please
you.
continue doing what you're doing.
Thank
So
you.
congratulations.
Bye.
Thanks again.